You got what I need, sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, destined by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need, sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, destined by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar. All I want is satisfaction. Make a move, baby, you got nothing to lose. Give me that good reaction. Gonna make it right, little like an offer I can't refuse. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need, sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, destined by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar Ooh, that sugar Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need, sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, destined by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar, just my kind of heat. Ooh, that sugar, sipping on the potion, all that good emotion. Ooh, that sugar. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need, sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, destined by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights.
Good morning. Morning, folks. Hope you guys are well. Tian, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Morning, Leon. Morning, Silver. Hope everybody is doing well on Hump Day, Wednesday, and it is a big day. Morning, Paul, mate. A big day in the FX world, or just in the markets, actually. In general, with FOMC coming out today. So we had some decent numbers. Tian, where you been, mate? Hope you've been well. How's your trading going? Let me know. So decent numbers out of the CPI coming out yesterday. Widely, again, as I said, even, well, I mean, having effect on the market's perception of a widely anticipated rate hike. So I think the main thing everybody will be looking at today is the forward guidance. What are we going to do in the future? Are we having another rate hike in our future? Are we pausing for a little bit? Or are we going to start cutting? So that's what everybody will want to know. I think, as I said, it's widely expected, although it's not 100% that the Fed pauses those rates at 5.25. But let's see what the man says. I will be in bed 10:30 UAE time, so I'm not interested. I'll read about it tomorrow. But I think that's what we'll be looking for moving forward. But a good day yesterday. CPI year-on-year coming out at 4%. The trend is in the right direction. Obviously, we are still high. We have to understand that. But we've come down from the highs of, what was it, 9 point something, 9.2 back last year, 9.1. So what they're doing is working, as theory dictates, right? You raise interest rates, you slow down the economy, inflation comes down. Oh, sorry to hear about that, Tian. Sorry, mate. Good to hear you getting back into trading, but sorry to hear that, pal. Hope everything is well. Hope you're okay. Okay, let's get into it. So, as I said, today at 10 p.m. is the rate decision. We had some decent GDP coming out of the pound. 30 minutes ago, we got some PPIs, which will also be interesting at 4:30. So very news heavy. A lot of volatility will be coming out this evening. Be aware of that. I'm not going to say, I mean, I'm still expecting positivity, to be honest with you, purely from a price action point of view. How much is priced in? We don't know that yet. So waiting for that reaction rather than the news itself is obviously still the name of the game and always will be. But S&P still looks pretty good. We are breaking through barriers. We are breaking through structure. And I just really like where it is. We're not massively extended going into here. So from taking away what's happening today, I still like it on, and I'm still risk on, and I'm still positive about the momentum of this market and moving forward. Now, if we come out and say a rate hike is potentially, or one more rate hike expected in the future, that could wobble it. I'm just, personally, I don't know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I can't see it, you know, and I have a bit of optimism here, and whether I'm alone on that, I don't think I am, where we're getting some certainty, we're getting our handle on that hyperinflation, and things are starting to move, and we could be getting into a period of breaking out of structure and getting some fluidity, which ultimately, for my personal strategy and a lot of people's strategy, helps with their trading, with that momentum breaks, i.e. breaks of significant levels that follow through, and that's what we like to see. So risk on for me, and I'm expecting positivity, but that doesn't mean it has to happen. Anything can happen. I don't know the future. I don't have a crystal ball, and as I said, anything can happen. But I'm expecting dollar upside. I mean, I'm expecting S&P upside. Right, US index, the dollar got a little bit of a hit slightly yesterday, not as much as I was expecting after those after that CPI coming out. But we are essentially hanging on to this area, hanging on to this significant zone. We tried to break it yesterday, didn't quite get there, didn't quite close, but we're accumulating underneath this area. It's in a bit of a precarious position because of this 4-hour dynamic support to price in the form of that 4-hour 200 MA. But my bias is dollar down. I still like the idea of dollar down, okay? I have to say that. I do like my bias is dollar down. But let's wait and see what happens tonight. I'm going to sit myself on the fence. As I said, from a technical perspective, bias is down. If you get a close underneath here, I still like it, albeit you have this to contend with. But yeah, I think my bias is down, but I'm going to sit myself a little bit on the fence here and say I'm going to wait to see how the markets react to that news. And I'm expecting positivity. I'm expecting dollar weakness, but I would have expected a little bit of a sharper drop yesterday, albeit, you know, we do have the Fed coming up today. So let's see what happens. This is still on the cards, you know, as is overall weekly, i.e. this for dollar downside. But let's see. Right, my trade today. So the trade is going quite well in this German 30. We obviously had a decent move yesterday, kind of slightly breakout retest. Obviously positivity on that CPI numbers and that 4-hour bar looking pretty well. I'm still expecting, I still like this to move to the upside. We might need some digestion here over London, and over the course of the day we are a little bit extended away from that 20 period, albeit it has been a quite good movement, and smaller time frames do look a little bit better. I'm not really expecting this to move until later on this evening, as probably with most things today. But I still really like this. I'm expecting this to tag this handle up here and hopefully continues on. So I'm using my SAR for exits at the moment. Now, there's a saying of follow your rules 100% and then know when to break your rules. There may be something where if I do get a pullback in today, let's say I get an SAR above it, I think in that scenario, I'm just going to wait a little bit. I know technically that should mean I take it out, but if we're coming out into this corrective here, I don't really want to take it out. I think the potential of this to continue moving, because, and I may be wrong, I'm expecting positivity. I'm pretty happy to wait it out if I do get that. So I really like where this is. You know, daily obviously still looks good. We're obviously still in that overall uptrend. There's no need for me to be worried about this. And ultimately, at this point in time, I can't touch it because the SAR is still moving. We've still got London to open up in 20. Let's see how it goes. I'm very happy with that position, and certainly if it's the only one that I have on, I'm still very happy. Running over 2R now, 2 point something R, which is a nice start to June. Okay, watch this today. So Euro Yen has broken through. Euro Yen here has broken through this daily area, and a relatively nice week, nice break on volume. Looking for this to push on a little bit, retest this area, which again allows that weekly to digest a little bit more for a breakout retest continuation to the upside. So from a weekly perspective, I don't know why I have my doubts about it, but I still do have maybe I'm being silly here with Euro Yen, but I do like it to the upside. I'm just looking for a nice steady state corrective, or my favorite ABC corrective, which probably won't come until next week, if indeed it does come at all, for Euro Yen longs. So yeah, I like it, and looking for that continuation, which I may not get, Pound CAD. Pound CAD I like. You know, I like where this is. I like where this is on the weekly now. We're kind of coming back, corrective back to that 20. The V reversal starting to neaten ourselves up. So we had our ABC here, push on, back of a little corrective. If I zoom in a little bit here, let me zoom in a bit, so make it a little bit nicer. So this price action is starting to neaten itself up and possibly getting ready, coming out of this, again, corrective back to that 20 for another push to the upside. Pound just had some decent GDP data. Daily again is pushing up, and are we getting a possible C wave here? So outside bullish engulfer here, coming on an uptick in volume, decent volume above that 20 now. You know, you've had your 2-3 days of digestion into this particular bar, which sometimes you get when they're quite significant. And the idea is we break out of here and we push on. So simple view of Pound CAD, and I like that. The only issue with it from a 4 hour, from a higher time frame perspective, is this 200. But it's whether I get if it's a breakout retest, my 1-to-1 on my first trade on my 50% position. Before that, I'd have to wait and see what my stop loss is if it sets up or not. So that 200 is the issue. The actual setup on the trading time frame is great, right? This is A class for me. Nice structure here, secondary structure, ABC into it, looking for a breakout retest, right? If this was a 4 hour chart, I'd have an order in there, absolutely. Obviously, depending on the 200 on the higher time frame, but this setup in this context on the trading time frame, brilliant. Like that, coming from this move, you think about that again, 70-30, or it's probably a little bit more when you've had a decent move. Look how much time is taken to digest that, and that's why trading is boring, and good trading is boring trading. Is normally you've got to wait for, unless you're involved in them, you got to wait for these moves to digest. You can even look at it as a head and shoulders here, but everything about this. Again, I'm not saying this has to go to the upside. I'm just saying everything about this context for me on a trading time frame is A star. So I'll be looking for pound CAD to push, retest this area, and continue on up. Let that 20 period go, and very similar or very same to Euro Yen. I'm looking for my steady state, or I'm looking for my ABC with my catalyst coming on an uptick in volume. Perfect. I take that long, depending on this 4 hours. A bit of an annoying 4 hour, unfortunately, but it's something that we have to be aware of because, as I said, these 200s are the biggest in forms of dynamic resistance or support to price. So looking at pound CAD on the 30-minute or 1 hour for possible longs. Now, the other option on this is, just so we are clear, I can take a trade, which I don't know what price action will look like if this happens. So if we break through, right, and we tag the 200 on our break of the area, yeah, I agree, Silver. I agree. So if we tag, let's say this is the 4 hour 200, which you can't see, or here or something. So if we tag that, okay, come back and retest, and I get my catalyst here, that's still okay because for me, I consider that order's filled. Okay, so we get that reaction around the 4 hour. If we have tagged it and we come back and I still get my steady state or my ABC, that's okay for me. However, I don't know whether that's going to happen considering where that 200 is. But let's see. But yeah, I do like pound CAD, Silver. I like the potential of it. Basically, I really like the potential of it and where it is. Ready to move, breaking out old resistance, becoming new support. I mean, it looks great, doesn't it? And the idea is, if you're right, if I'm right, and if I get my setup where we go on impulse and we move, i.e. where corrective's over, we're looking to push up, and that's from a weekly perspective. So you drill down to the 30-minute or 1 hour for your potential entry, where obviously your risk reward and your stop loss is slightly smaller. Nice, it could be a nice trade. Pound CAD potential longs. Right, USD Yen and UK Brent. So USD Yen, one I put on the watch list this morning. Yeah, I agree, Silver. I agree. And this is where a part of me, not that I would do this, and again, I've done my testing, and I don't like the statistics that I came involved with in terms of 30-minute, 1 hour breaks. However, if someone said to me, I'm taking pound CAD as a break of that area, I'd be like, yeah, I don't mind that idea at all. Nice ABC coming into here. You've got your morning star coming on the correct volume signature, right? We're getting our volume signature increasing as this pattern progresses, which is obviously, let me zoom in so you can see that. Excuse me, guys. That's better. So we've got our increasing volume here as this pattern progresses, and obviously you're seeing it take out potential stops here and hopefully push on. So very nice ABC, and yeah, could be silver, absolutely. And that's interesting, talking about the ABC, I forgot to mention this in terms of this entry here, 4 hour. It's another good example. So let me remove this for now and just get all this nonsense off the chart. So in terms of our ABC on this entry, right? It's pretty perfect. Well, it's not perfect, but again, it's another good example of why I like it. So you kind of break underneath A. Remember, we're going with trend. Got your catalyst here, but not only that, you got ABC, and you've also got your 1-2, right? So your ABC 1-2, ABC 1-2. So there's many entries that you can take a break there. You could potentially take an entry at 2 here. So it's a really good example of why I like this pattern, because we've got the exact result. Okay, from my entry at C wave, we did get a little bit offside here, and we're close. We were close, absolutely. But how it's reacted is great. So ABC's for the win. I love them. Yeah, no worries, Tian. Hopefully see you back. I'll be back on at this time Monday to Friday. So hopefully see you back on soon, mate. Right, last one is UK Brent, UK oil, which I was thinking about in terms of an aggressive entry, but with the steepness and the kind of strength going into this potential secondary structure, you know, looking back and doing my trade analysis on the aggressive entry, it's okay because it's with trend, but the strength of this pullback means that, I mean, look at that. That could have been an aggressive entry, let's say it had high volume, but it means that I can't take an aggressive entry on this pullback. I would need potentially something like this. Then I can look at aggressive entry here, or obviously look at a breakout on the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is there if we do get a rejection in and create our secondary structure, possibly needing a third or some sort of accumulation before a break to the downside. You guys know I like the overall higher time frames on this. I think they're very nice. From a daily perspective, very similar, looking for this to come down. So we're squeezing in pretty nicely and essentially looking to break that 200 MA on the weekly and hopefully really move to the downside. So potentially something like this. I don't think I get a daily aggressive either with how price action is looking, unless it does possibly something like this, then I could look at it on C wave. But I do like this. UK Brent, I've been trying to get involved in this short for quite some time. It's just not giving me a proper in, but it could do on the 4 hour or the daily. So let's see what happens on that. But that is my lot today. As I said, big news coming out tonight. Pound CAD I really do like, and if I have to wait to see how it breaks and how it retests, but I do like where that is. Euro yen I obviously still like, but it's going to take a few more days. USD yen. Oh, I didn't do USD yen, did I? Did I do USD yen? No, I don't think I did USD yen. USD yen. USD yen daily is good here. My worry about it is, although it's not as big a worry as potentially I thought it was going to come back down, but with the idea of, again, of this ABC, is you're looking for an immediate really rejection, and we've not got that. So this gives me a bit more confidence in a bullish bias on the USD yen. Now, obviously, this can change tonight. However, I like what we've got here. A pull back to the 20 and looking to push on from this area. Higher time frames, there is a case, and a decent case, for going long on USD yen, right? Although you could say, well, both relatively weak currencies. I don't really mind about that. It's not really something that's going into it. But we have got our initial structure here, looking for a secondary one for a potential break to the upside on USD yen. I just don't think I get it. You know, so it's there. I'll watch it. We could get it, but, you know, we could look at it, you know, here as well, depending on how price action looks like, i.e. your head and shoulders. I just don't think it comes. So I like it long. And here's the difference. If I was also looking at USD Singapore dollar from a daily perspective, a daily aggressive entry, right? So you can see on this bar here, a very nice hammer, right? Coming with an uptick in volume, coming from here, nice digestion into that 40-60 box. Okay, this is good. If it was with trend, it would be great. My issue with this is here, right? So obviously you can see what I'm looking at. We're going against the grain, which I think, now it could go up, but I think if you take that 100 times, you ain't going to be happy. And obviously I can't take an aggressive entry against the trend. Now, if it was USD yen and we had that set up, that would have a bit more confluence because we haven't immediately rejected its C wave. So it looks a little bit better for movement to the upside from a weekly perspective than USD Singapore. So it is slight difference, very slight difference in price action, but it is an important difference. So I do like it long. I just don't think I get USD long from a trading perspective, to be honest with you. So yeah, pound CAD, my pick of the bunch. Anything you guys want me to look at before I head off? As I said, for me, it is late tonight, so I think I'm still expecting positivity. Put it that way. I'm expecting the stock market to rise. But yeah, everyone's eyes will be on that forward guidance. I'm expecting a pause, as everybody is. But again, I'm just going to wait for that market's reaction rather than the news itself. I'm not really that bothered. Anything you guys want me to look at? Any questions before I head off? Nope. Nada. All right, guys. Okay. Well, have a lovely day. Be aware if you are placing a trade, what's coming up tonight. And yeah, remember specifically today to always trade safe. Okay. All right, guys. Take care. Peace.